Here on the WHS 11 Night Team, it is a problem many parents face finding childcare. State data shows around 9% of childcare centers here in Louisville closed over the last couple of years, largely because of the pandemic. Focus investigative reporter Paula Vassan visited a center in Newburg to show how where you live may determine your access to childcare.
Well, good morning.
When Asia Rivers opens this door in the morning,
Come on in, babe.
she's opening doors she says were never open to her.
Yes, it really is where my heart is.
She's allowing parents like LaToya Malone
I'm a teacher.
to follow her
Really
aspirations.
hard. I challenge them to be their best self.
With the comfort her 3-year-old is being nurtured,
These are all your colors.
valued,
Do you need me to help with anything?
and cared for.
Absolutely.
Because she says that comfort was absent from her childhood.
I am actually a former foster youth.
An experience she sums up in one word.
Unbearable.
She says it made her an unwavering advocate for children through this childcare center. She opened it last year.
Which was exactly 2 weeks before we were given the mandated order for the governor to close down.
That closure was temporary, but for many, the impact was not.
I was devastated.
State data shows about 9% of licensed childcare centers in Louisville have closed since the start of the pandemic in March of 2020. Rivers saw the impact.
Yeah. Destruction.
So you wanted to fill a need.
Yes. And it was a dire need.
But now she faces more obstacles.
There's so many different laws, regulations, red tape.
State and federal requirements during the pandemic have ranged from smaller class sizes to more cleaning, safety measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But those in the industry say they've also led to seemingly insurmountable barriers.
It's hard on everybody all the way around.
Between rent, insurance, staff, and keeping the lights on, it's a high-cost business. This childcare center doesn't make a single dollar in profit until they have at least 20 kids enrolled. Right now, they have just 7.
We lost about $65,000.
Just last year, one of the biggest factors driving that loss. She can't find or afford enough staff to abide by state ratio requirements. For infants, it's 1 staff member for every 5 kids.
We need staff on board.
Without it, this sign at the entrance, advertising care starting at 6 weeks old, is now a reminder of their struggle.
Yeah.
Rivers no longer offers care for kids under 1 year old. There's no one to look after them. Why is it so hard to hire staff?
Because you could go to McDonald's and start making $15 an hour right out the gate.
Compare that to $10.26, the median hourly wage in Louisville for childcare workers, who also face stricter requirements.
Childcare, you have to pass a background check. Childcare, you have to be first aid CPR certified.
Her strain is shared.
We are all experiencing pretty much the same thing.
But the intensity of that strain may depend on where you live.
It's challenging.
In her neighborhood of Newburg, there are 27 licensed childcare slots for every 100 children. But head about 7 miles away to the Highlands, where median household income is about 76% higher, and access spikes to 84 slots per 100 kids. Some of the lowest income areas of Louisville have around 15 slots per 100 children.
It is just really who's the last childcare standing at this point.
Some areas of Kentucky, Magoffin and Martin counties, have 0 slots. What's the impact on the community when there's a childcare shortage?
It's catastrophic. It really affects our economy, our workforce, especially women.
We've lost 100,000 women out of the Kentucky workforce.
In the last 2 years of the pandemic, says Kentucky lawmaker Julie Rocky Adams. Decades ago, as a new mother, she was one of those women.
I didn't have affordable child care.
She was at the pinnacle of her career, working with a congresswoman in Washington, D.C.
I loved my job,
but called it quits.
I couldn't do it.
Because she was spending more for childcare than what she earned. Now she's taking the memory of that hard decision to ask a hard question.
How do we remove that barrier?
To help answer it, she's one of about a dozen lawmakers on a new task force.
We're going to be looking at maybe upping the reimbursement rates.
Their mission, to sustain and grow our childcare system in Kentucky.
We need to fix it or else shame on us.
If you go, then what's this community left with?
Yeah.
For Rivers, the clock is ticking.
I'm going to give it another 6 months.
Before confronting what may be inevitable. She says it would mean turning her back on her kids, their parents,
He's learning how to count.
her community,
Put it all back together.
and herself.
I feel sad.
because the future of this place she built
B for bird.
is uncertain. For Focus, I'm Paula Vassan, on your side.
And the Focus team is on your side, investigating the stories that matter to you. If you have an idea for them, send them an email to focus@whs11.com.